Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Lion and Bear Report. I'm Space Lion.
And I'm Kodiak.
And welcome to your Week 6 recap. This one I'm a little under the weather, so expect more mispronunciations and div mix-ups than usual from me. But yeah, enough about that. Kodiak, how's your week been?
Another loss. Another disappointing loss. Just couldn't hit the high elves hard enough to get anything done. So it's been a sort of mediocre season.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking at trying to do team development and just stay in Div 2 next season at this point. Feel like playoffs are kind of slipping away.
Yeah. What's your record stand at right now?
It's not good.
If you don't want to tell us, that's fine.
No, I'm just pulling it up. I'm currently at 213.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and I'm like 9th ranked in my div. So would like to be doing better, but could be. I mean, I'm in a position where if I start doing better, I'll get to stay in div 2.
Yeah.
is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have vampires this week, so that should be easy to be good practice. That's what kicked me out of the playoffs last time, was not being experienced with how to play against vampires.
Yes.
So another shot at it is, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be maybe not as high intensity as last time.
Yes, exactly. It'll be a much chiller match. Well, and also not least because I'm 500 TV higher than them.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
They have 2 strength of vampires that are both out for the match.
Oh wow.
So they're going to be down to 3, which is still a fair number of vampires, but
they're running with 5. Wow.
They're running 5, yeah.
Yeah. So that should be hopefully a fun match for you.
Yeah.
And I think just like you said, you're trying to stay in the division and also probably get some development to keep your team interesting. For yourself.
Development, experience against higher level teams. Obviously I'm a 500 this week, but there's a lot of opponents this season that are as well developed as I am, which really wasn't as much the case last season.
Yeah.
And so having to learn to play against Skaven one-turners and stuff like that, which some people in this div actually are getting to experience as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to deal with in Div 4.
Yeah, it's interesting. And we'll talk a little bit about Div 4 records later on. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a different story for you. But 2-1-3's, a lot of
Good moves.
Yeah, could go either way. But yeah, let's hop into the action and take a look at what things happened in this division, week 6.
Yeah.
So we had. This was actually the match that we streamed.
Yeah. This was a fun one to stream. And it was quick, if I recall.
Yes, yeah, this was like a 1-hour match, which I very much appreciated. I mean, was very happy to stream it, but yeah, it felt very refreshing. There wasn't a lot of deliberation from either of these coaches. They knew what they wanted to do, and turned out pretty well for one of them.
Yeah. Indeed's been having a rough go of it.
Yeah. Indeed, took two more niggling injuries this week, and the blitzer that's collecting them all is collecting another one.
Frankly, that's the one I would mind least, because it's that guy's on his way out the door.
It's true.
It's the guard guy now being both armor busted and niggled.
Yeah.
He's a lot less useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we talked about him on the stream a little bit, but I feel like you'd want to, since you already have a guard piece, probably worth chucking the other one at this point. Yeah,
he's gonna be out for the next match, so you probably let him just linger there for a week in case this guard guy dies. But in general, you'd think that guy's probably gonna get fired.
Yeah.
But in terms of this match in particular, I also feel like the damage sort of tells the story there.
Yeah.
That's really what went wrong for Pandito, was he just couldn't keep his pieces on the field.
Right.
Just was down manpower.
Yeah. I mean, 12 breaks on 28 blocks. Yeah. I don't remember. I don't think Peak Alpha 2 did much fouling. They might have fouled once or twice. Because there are some pieces on this pro team that are worth, going down a piece for. But I can't remember if that's what ended up, causing any of these injuries or breaks. I do remember, it did just seem, a lot of things just seemed to go Peak Altitude's way. And indeed, they wound up getting some great levels out of this one, including dodge for their agility 5 piece.
Yeah, nice development there.
Yeah.
And some development over on the Cross the Empire side. Sure Hands is a nice addition. To the thrower.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll save you some aggravation on those. At least won't prevent you from snaking pickups, but at least prevent the 1 and 9. I don't have too many more things to say that didn't get covered on the stream. So I'd say if you're either of those coaches and didn't realize that we streamed it, I think it's on Sir Kodiak's channel. And it was a lot of fun. I definitely, again, appreciated both coaches. Not that they weren't thinking through their plays, but they were very, very quick to commit to plays and had good thoughts about what they wanted to do.
Checking that it was in fact the video was still available on my channel, I discovered I'm actually hosting you. I had no idea.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Apparently I thought that would be automatic. That's fun.
Oh, that is fun.
Sorry for that distraction.
That's okay. I was gonna say you can set it if you want it permanently up there. If you do a highlight of it, it'll be up there, as a VOD forever. But
I might look into uploading them all to YouTube, the ones that are still there.
Yeah.
And just organize them that way.
Yeah. Sounds good.
But I don't have anything more on this match. I thought it was interesting. It was a fun watch, but if you want to really dig into it, the video is only an hour. And
a lot
I think it was exciting to see, and
had some
commentary.
High flying action for sure. And and Peak Altitude got their first win. So there was,
congrats to Dark Cannon.
All right, on to our next match, which I think this one was the one that got played before we had a chance to do a recap last time, and I still didn't get around to watching it, but I think the score and the expulsions all tell the story.
Yes. I'd say the big picture is, and why I would say 3-0 instead of 2-0, was there was a point where I think Craig Pippup just got frustrated enough with his inability to do anything with the ball that he's just I'm just gonna murder people.
Okay.
And so it switched into a lot of hitting, fouling, just try to do damage. And he didn't really get much of anything for it.
No, it doesn't look.
He got one armor bust on a zombie. That was unleveled. So
seems like they could replace pretty easily the Necro.
So I mean, so some of the issue was there was actually the overall issue was just the Khemri's inability to do anything with the ball. They did cause some problems for themselves. There was very early on a misclick dodge by a Tomb Guardian.
Oh wow!
I'm assuming it was a misclick because it made no sense as a dodge.
None of them have break tackle, so you can't be I thought that was the break tackle one.
And that causes some problems because he ends up with a bunch of pieces on the ground, and they're getting fouled and stuff like that. It was a very early misclick. I think it was actually the start of the first thing that happened in the turn. And so that let Ponosaurus really set himself up aggressively, and they had chosen to receive, but it made that their drive a lot easier. So he was able to score on turn 7. And leaving Khemri 2 turns, it might as well be asking them to make a 1-turn attempt. They just can't score that first fast. I will say one thing that jumped out at me in the first half is that Legolas, great piece, really needs dodge because he dodges constantly.
Oh wow, yeah,
it's
we saw that
so many plays, where it's like he's the blitz and then he's in there and he's like, well, I don't want to be based. And it dodges out, and like a lot of the teams rerolls go into that.
Yeah, I remember that from when we streamed them against the human team, Flyboys. They were like blitzing up against the ogre and being like, I'm out of here. And it's like, nope. Unless you're gonna spend your reroll. Even then.
And because there was good play by Craig Pitpup to set up that the attractive blitzes would be frenzy traps with Ultra Craig waiting.
Oh, nice.
It's like a really nice piece to start out the turn based against something.
Yeah.
So obviously that's why Legolas dodges away. That was one, and that was actually one of the consequences of that misclick I told you about. Was Ultra Craig had done a piling on, and he hadn't stood up yet.
Yeah.
And so he's just on the ground. He just took turn after turn after turn of fouls until eventually he eats a KO and leaves the field, which is like kind of lucky, frankly.
Yeah, that it wasn't worse.
That's all that was. But it got him off the field for like much of the first half, which again was a problem for the Craig Pitpup's attempts to put up a defense.
Yeah, I think the way I've seen them play, they really Ultra Craig's really like the heart of their team. And it's tough to find your footing when you can't really do stuff with the ball anyway.
Yeah. But then second half starts off bad. Craig Pitpup was doing like his line of scrimmage blocks, and one of the Tomb Guardians 1-9 into a 1-9. And the ball's still on the ground at that point. The Necro can't actually get it on turn 9, but it cost Khemri a turn's worth of like desperately trying to pick it up, so that when they can't pick it up on turn 10, just because of like their general shittiness, then Necro is able to put tackle zones on the ball, and it's just and Necro's able to just like keep putting pressure. Then they eventually get the ball up. They score, take it to 2-0. And and at that point, it turned into what I mentioned at the beginning, which is Khemri deciding we're just going to kind of try to kill shit.
Yeah, I would imagine that would have felt a little better if you could have come out of this with like a dead, any dead positional. I think you would have. Yeah,
would have been fun.
Felt a little bit of relief from, I guess.
Yeah, and he did try to pick up the ball, and the thrower did in fact refuse to roll a 4. But when I say concentrate on damage, it was more like he was not like trying to screen the Necro off. It was like, if I can pick up the ball, great. If not, whatever.
Right.
I'd rather focus on something else. The Necro gets the ball. They score on turn 16. And there, it's 3-0.
Yeah.
There was some fun plays with hack and slash. He did multiple blitzes onto blodge pieces.
Whoa, really?
Which is really fun.
Oh no.
Yeah. The blodge white had in fact was taken off the field with an MNG, but it regened. So you almost got a nice little like not that's real permanent, but like a nice like some sort of impact. Just regen actually did a thing.
I'm not looking there. There's something to be said about somebody who's just willing to throw a chainsaw at you, blitz after blitz. That's terrifying to me, especially
AB7.
AB7 for the majority of it. Yeah, just like, oh gosh. Yeah, I think I played them in 2 weeks, and I'm just bracing myself. But yeah, tough loss, and I can't remember what we said for. Oh, I guess we didn't say anything for their inducements because they had already played it. I think, for this, I mean, if they want to have fun with hack and slash and send them after people, this was a good way to spend money.
Yeah, I like it better than just loading up on a ton of bribes, given it was a home game for Khemri and they were going to get that free bribe anyways.
Yeah.
And they have the bench for like skeletons just be doing fouls without bribes.
Yeah, that's true. It just adds a different dimension rather than doubling down when you don't necessarily get the same value from it. But yeah, so I mean, one thing I did just notice is the armor breaks did actually go the Khemri's way, but I guess just yeah, really wasn't enough to slow the Necro down.
And I believe a chunk of that was at the end of the game when they switched to pure damage dealing mode. At which point it was like already over for them. Like those were like fouls and that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because a bunch of those were basically KOs at the very end of the game.
Okay. So of those 5, there was like 2 or 3.
Yeah, like 3 of them were like the last quarter.
Okay. Yeah, it's not as helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, that was part of their problem. One more on the sheet. One thing I'll mention: Rat the Third over on the Khemri team. He is no longer on the team.
Whoa! What?
He was fired and replaced by a skeleton named Rat the Third.
What?
I assume it's because Sneaky Git is bloaty.
Yeah. But he's had him for like 5 games so far, 6 games.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised by it because it's like, I would have waited until I got like a regular dirty player guy.
Oh right, because the MVP didn't level them. Rat number 2.
Yeah, he's just a vanity pass away.
That's cruel and unusual. Yeah, I would.
Hey, I've leveled Nurgle Warriors off of vanity passes.
Fair enough.
I leveled a Nurgle Warrior. I had Nurgle Warriors making vanity passes in the playoffs.
What?
It can be done. Yeah. My last game after I'd already lost, I just started passing.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, you didn't do that against Gaudi's Skaven. That would have been.
No. That was after the vampires had already humiliated me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, I'll look for that when we. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't know if I would have noticed when we did the preview sheets, but that had been such like a signature piece because you just see Sneaky Get and you're like, well, that's a choice, and some people like believe in the Fallon game so much that maybe it's worth it to them. But
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's just not what they want for their team anymore.
Yeah. Or Rat
the Third has to be removed.
Or there's some sort of like off-field like incident.
Yeah.
We don't know about because we don't get the sports media from inside the universe.
That's right. We'll have to, if anybody has any insider information, please send it to us via Discord.
We're not going to traffic in gossip.
I am. I don't know about you.
Okay.
All right. So
don't have anything else for that.
All right. Let's move on. Oh, I do like. I do think it's interesting. We've got Boris the Ferrymaster as their second dirty player zombie for R5 and Elf.
Mm-hmm.
Though I don't. I don't know what else he would take. Block's kind of boring on zombies.
Oh, actually, we brought this up that easy to replace Gustav Kane. I believe he has in fact already been replaced.
Oh, there you go.
That with someone named Quint. I think it's also another Quintus the Troublemaker. So there's two of them on that team.
No. They're not naming their zombies? Oh, yeah, they're not, obviously, because Boris the Ferrymaster is... Oh, gosh. But they named Mick Blitzer. No, that must be a trophy.
Yeah, Mick Blitzer, that seems like it's a trophy.
If there's 2 Quintus the Troublemakers, we're going to have to give them grief until there's only one. Some sort of Royal Rumble or something. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I can confirm that there's 2 of them.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't wait to go into that.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So this one, Mean Green and Thick versus Silkwood City Slickers. This was going to be an interesting match because we had Silkwood coming in hot, and Mean Green and Thick, with some potential tools to deal with this. Though I think probably tying with being down 2 of the pieces, it's not a bad result for them.
Yeah. So this one. So one thing I'll note here is the Elf team originally had a third catcher, who was Russell Jump Up and Niggled, and so he got fired for this match.
Yeah. Yep.
So the Orcs choose to receive. The plus strength Elf, Bruno Ferretry, takes a badly hurt on turn 1 and is appoed back into the match.
Yeah.
But that means,
Turn
there goes the
one.
apothecary,
Wow.
which
Yeah.
ended up being fine. That he did not pay anything for using the Apple when it badly hurt. A couple more elves fall him off the field pretty quickly, and the orcs keep pushing up. They have a scary moment where they accidentally dodge into traffic, like a black orc just like makes this crazy dodge.
Oh
Um,
wow.
but it didn't actually add up to much. Like the elves were able to get at the ball, and so they score fairly easily on turn 8.
Huh.
Wood elves would have liked to one turn, but there's a perfect defense and then an inconvenient POW, and just didn't work out.
Yeah.
I actually watched this on Gojira's stream, and I remember commenting at the half that it turns into another elf tie. He's gonna be really angry.
Yeah.
So that did happen. So at the half, it's 10 versus 7 players, and the orcs still have their bribe. Elves score real quick in the second half. They basically rely on the fact that it's hard to knock down a blodger. And then, the elves managed to take the ball off of the orcs on the orcs' attempt to then score themselves. They basically dodge into a cage on a 5+.
Oh.
Pull it off, knock down the ball carrier. It's scattered to be exposed into tackle zones, but elves can still pick it up just fine.
Yeah.
And they score on that same turn. They knocked the ball free.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it was just like it was a kind of elf bullshit turn, but that's elves, right?
Yeah.
Like, if they can't bullshit, they're not going to win or
Yeah.
tie. The orcs then make another attempt to grind up the field. They pull it off this time. It might not have happened, but on turn 15, one of the elf journeymen tries a dodge and then fails the loner reroll, which means the elf screen doesn't quite get filled in, and the orcs are able to push up aggressively, get in position that they can score on turn 16 pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things where I don't feel too bad for the elves on that one, given some of the nonsense that had worked for them.
Yeah.
The ties kind of reasonable.
Yeah, I know Gojira was saying afterwards too. I can't remember if this was in the Division Discord or in the Rebel Discord, but just some frustration with as many ties that they're getting. I think it's tough and a reasonable frustration. Yeah. But with orcs against Wood elves, it's just gonna be tough to do the 2-1 grind unless you can get them I don't know who won the kick, who won or who chose to kick or receive, but generally if you're playing against
orcs chose to receive.
Interesting. So I would say that as a bash team, what you should be looking to do, this is what I try to do with elves, is put them on offense first.
Yeah.
And then try to get them to score really quick and then counter score, and then hopefully your offense, you can just grind down the pitch and score in 2-1.
That's my usual strategy against agility teams.
Yeah, doesn't always work. Usually doesn't go as smoothly as all that, but it gives you a different it gives you a clear line of sight of something to try. And I think elves are generally better on defense, I feel like, and kind of want to be at the start, because they're full power unless some random rock comes in and takes somebody out, and it's when they have all their tools to really mess with you.
Right. Yeah, they're good on offense for scoring quickly. They're not good at the long stall offense.
Right.
So so you see that a lot of the time, right? It's the quick score on their part, and then they go on defense. I don't know that it screwed him that he chose to go on offense first.
Yeah, not saying that.
But in general, I'd go the other way around.
Yeah, I think it at least would have. Could have been. Would have been the way I would have chosen it, but I think 2-2. I think we said it before this match, with him missing Furious Fred and one of his blitzers. Like it didn't, and Silkwood City Slickers being like red hot with a bunch of wins under the belt.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going to be a tough match for them to draw, and they managed to do that. So that's still pretty good.
Yep. Pimp commenting in chat that he's really looking forward to having the opportunity to do that. I assume that means go on defense first, because I believe he's been failing a lot of coin tosses.
Well, he won the one against me, which really sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that game was painful, but that was a little frustrating. Though I think actually he won the coin toss and then put me where I wanted to be, so I shouldn't throw all my salt out at once. But yeah. Usually a little more clear what to do in a Al first bash match when you win the coin toss.
But yeah. So and Gojira, final thing on this, Gojira gets himself another guard black work.
Oh yeah,
that's really nice. You're looking to just spam block and guard on all 4 of those, and just really be able to lock teams down.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be really, it's going to be really tough to deal with once all 4 of them have guard. But even with 3, that's man, I wish I'd played this team earlier in the season. That's going to be tough.
Yeah. But yeah, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah. Yeah, and this was the one that just finished yesterday, and I don't know. Is this the surprise result of the week?
Yeah, I would say I'm a little surprised by this one. I'm surprised. Yeah, that I expected this one to go the other way.
Yeah, same.
I thought that Tim Nielsen's team was just like better developed and in a better position to win.
Yeah.
That said, it was a good game for Martin Brisby.
Yeah.
That he performed well, and that's a tool that he has, that OP Cubby has, that Tim Nielsen doesn't. He's on the way to it. Murderous Redcap next level, I'm assuming, is sprint.
Right.
But
right.
Right now, OP Cubby's the only one with a natural 1-turner. And this match, my recollection is you have not seen this one.
I saw this in a fever dream.
Okay.
That was my 102 temperature. I'll let you take it away, and I'll add a few things.
Nicodemus. Retzanin decided to defend. Nicodemus leaves pretty early. Turn to armor bust. No apothecary attempt. I assume it's being saved for Martin or Mrs. Brisby. One of those sorts of pieces.
Yeah, I did see that, and that was. I was trying to. They did take a little while to decide on that from the stream that I watched.
Okay, because I watched this in the replay, not the stream, because I watched this like right before the recap. It was like really the limiting factor in getting to this, and so I did the in-client review was way faster.
Yeah. So OP Cubby was streaming this. It was a little choppy. I think they might have. I mean, I don't know. They were trying to stream at 180p, which is not completely necessary for Blood Bowl. I would say bring it down a notch to like 720 should be okay. But so it was a little which is also why I can't really remember this match too well. It was very stuttered. But I do remember, that moment being like a big deal because I thought it was going to mean like the floodgates were open as far as like injuries. Because once you start losing gutter runners, I don't know, it becomes a lot tougher to do things, and then you're stuck in more awkward positions. But as it turned out, it didn't burn him.
Yeah. We have Tim Nielsen in chat. Got here just in time. Felt like he could accomplish nothing, which, there was some unfortunate failed rolls. I think particularly in the second half. That the first half you saw like OP Cubby taking a fair number of removals. A lot of them just KOs. But his rats leaving the field. there's actually one play that I thought was interesting. I'm not sure if you caught it on the stream. So there's one point, it was turn 4, and the Rats of Nim as the Rat Ogre, and he sends it blitzing at the ball carrier, who at this point was Triform Cutter, the Wrestle Gutter Runner.
Oh.
And it's a frenzy, right? So there's 2 3 dies.
Okay.
And on each of them, he's only got offered pushes in both downs. And he actually both times selects both down, but then uses Juggernaut so that it's a push.
Okay.
And would you have been all, so my question would be, would you have been all tempted in that situation to just put him on the ground, right?
Oh, right. Wait, so yeah, I wonder if he knew about this, right? So that Juggernaut overrides Wrestle.
Right.
So the player can't use Wrestle, and it could have just could have just done both.
Well, because if he'd wrestled him down, then he would have. If Wrestle had been available, then they still would have put them both on the ground, but just on a turnover.
Yeah.
The fact that it's actually kind of bad that Juggernaut overrides Wrestle in this case, given he doesn't have block.
Yeah. Yeah.
So instead he would override it, put them both on the ground, armor check against both of them, but the Gutter Runner is more likely to be injured in that, and it is a better piece.
Yep. Mighty blow against Ooh, man.
So I probably would have done that. I would have said no Juggernaut on the second one. The first one, you go with it. Though I'm wondering if he sort of 100% got how that works, because the interface is sort of weird, which is because Juggernaut has 2 interactions.
Yeah.
One of them is it turns off certain skills, and that's automatic. You can't choose not to do that. So turning off Wrestle, turning off Stand Firm, you don't have a choice there. That always happens.
Yep.
If you say no, don't Juggernaut when it asks you, that's asking, do you want to turn the both down into a push?
Right.
And that is the only thing it affects. That's the only optional part of the skill.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's a little if you haven't had any practice with it in Blood Bowl 2, then it's a little tough to understand what it's asking you.
Yeah, it's one of things where I just did a practice match with my team to do it, because I have a block Juggernaut Pestigore who he has Juggernaut so he can kill wrestlers, and you want to make sure you know how to do it right.
Yeah, that'd be pretty embarrassing if you couldn't kill a wrestle piece.
But Goblins dot deck end up scoring on turn 4, and then on Rats and Nim's on their turn 4, and that's the first quarter of the match, right? We come out of that 1-1, and as you'll see, there's 3 quarters left, and one more touchdown gets scored. Tim Nielsen, under heavy pressure, on his this is the second quarter, his second attempt at a drive. Attempts a 3+ pass on turn 6, can't get it done. It's inaccurate. Ball hits the ground. It's a pretty bad scatter for them. It could have scattered towards the end zone and been a little bit harder for the Rats of Nim to do something about. So it scatters towards the Rats of Nim's players. And basically both teams end up the OP Cubby briefly gets the ball up, but it ends up mostly spending its time on the ground, just bouncing around.
Yeah.
And that's the rest of the first half is just
oh wow. Okay.
Both teams shoving at each other and trying to get the ball up and not being able to.
Yeah.
And then second half we see this is the Rats of Nim drive.
Yeah.
They attempt a vanity pass, and the catch fails. But unfortunately, and I think this is one of the things that Tim Nielsen was talking about, being unable to do anything. He's able to get a gutter run in there, but it just can't get the ball off the ground. It was, I believe, a 3+, and just couldn't make it. And so then OP Cubby is then able to get the ball under control, and just moves it to the other side of the field. Tim Nielsen gets a shot at it. Actually manages to get a shot at the ball carrier, and knocks him down.
Oh wow!
But it just scatters to a different Nimrat. And the gutter runner that freed it tries to make a dodge and fails, hits the ground, KO'd.
Okay.
And at that point, there's a lot of Goblins on deck pieces off the field as the half goes on. And the Rats of Nim just find it increasingly easy to protect the ball.
Yeah, I started to come in at this point. I was very surprised to see, because I think we've seen Rats of Nim just one turn whenever they have offense. So I was really surprised to see that they hadn't done that, and then they were really caging up towards their end and stalling pretty hard. I was really impressed.
Yeah, it was interesting because they stalled, but then they did score on turn 15, and I'm not 100% sure why that happened. Tim Nielsen commented in chat that he didn't want to use his last reroll on that pickup on a 3+, because it's hard to use your last reroll. And it's not like you would have then been able to go score immediately.
Right.
probably just would have
Right.
been knocked down again. So I totally agree with that. And yeah, just a ton of KOs came in for him.
Yeah. Do you think going back to what you were saying with
Oh, the turn 15 score, I'm being told, was a pathing mistake.
what?
He meant to send the gutter runner that was carrying the ball around to be like behind a screen, and it moved through the end zone as part of it.
Oh,
Which I went
okay.
back. So like it moved to the end zone like partway through a move that looked like it might have been in the direct. Like I assumed he was in fact moving it to like screen it off. And I'm
Oh,
like, oh,
okay.
the end zone. That's interesting. But yeah, that was apparently just
Oh, I was gonna.
you know, sign out or whatever. Just be like, sure, we'll pass through the end zone.
Yeah, yeah, they do that a lot. I was thinking it was Opie Cubby listening to our great recaps, talking about, or actually I think it was Tim Nielsen on the recap telling us about how it's easier to deal with a rat 2 turn than it is a rat 1 turn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess it wasn't that.
Yeah, and yeah, basically goblins dot deck not able to score, not able to pull off the 2 turn. OP Cubby's able to
Yeah,
get like number of tackle zones on each of the possible receivers. Tim Nielsen really like works to try to get someone free, and he's able to
yeah,
find someone where if he could have made a catch in 2 tackle zones, had it pass to them like just have to make like a dodge out and go around,
mm,
but the catch just doesn't work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they had already, like, reroll was already gone at that point, or maybe they had it for the catch and it still didn't work. I can't. Yeah.
Pimp Imp commenting in chat that one of his draws last season was a 2-2, where the Rats 1 turned on him on turns 1 and 16, which is just infuriating to deal
Yep.
with
Yep.
because you have the ball for 16 turns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And you'd think after that much time, especially if you're Chorfs versus Skaven, you'd have a chance to like remove that stupid 1 turner. But
yeah, so hard to chase down though, right? Because they're so
yeah.
fast,
Yeah.
and they probably weren't on the field for
Yeah.
the
At
first
least
half.
at least the first half. Yeah.
Yeah, no rerolls left for the turn 16 score attempt.
Okay. Okay.
He had so many other problems that
Yeah. I think
he
there
had
was
to
like a Dubs goals in turns 15 or something.
So that sounds right. So yeah, it was one of those things where like it was certainly a possible score, but it was going to be rough, and it happened to fail on a catch. Yeah, so yeah, that was an interesting match.
With,
A lot of it came down to, but like who succeeded on like kind of what checks like the ball when,
Yeah.
sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Tim's saying, like there wasn't any knockdowns in turn 15 for him, so it means the Rats had it like, or they're both Rats, but the Rats of Nim were able to like dictate, their final turn on defense pretty well.
Yeah. And yeah, the catch was the hard part. Like there was a bunch of blocks made first, but a lot of them were just for like a push was fine, and they were all Jedi's.
I did like
so,
there's like a chain push block to free up a piece that ended up being I was trying to get it down to like 1 tackle zone on the potential gutter runner that was gonna catch the ball.
Yeah. Though that still wouldn't have done it. Like that basically, yeah, if there'd been a knockdown there, it would have got dropped to just being just 1 tackle zone.
Yeah.
Though as it turns out, the actual catch roll was a 2.
Oh, well.
So it would have needed to be like completely free.
Yeah.
In order to make it.
Yeah. So yeah, big implications for the leaderboard, which we'll go into later on.
Yeah.
I like Tim getting his traditional mercenary and a blood wizard babe this time.
Mm-hmm.
Insult to injury, festering goblin stealing the MVP and leveling.
Yeah, man, was that not a piece you another skill on?
Yeah, man, that's brutal.
Yeah, and dead dirty player.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, another lineman niggled, so they'll be out for at least next week, and you probably have to fire them. So no positionals hurt in this match, so they'll at least.
I believe that niggle was already in this match.
Oh yeah.
I believe.
Well, that's my one sheet error for the night. We'll see. Yeah, no, you're right. That's already part of Lobber Crew. We do see Justin, the gutter runner we all were lobbying to be fired, sneak off with the MVP in this one.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing. You'd rather the MVP and the armor bust were like reversed, right?
Yeah. That would have been quite nice. All right. But yeah, condolences to Tim. But yeah,
Rest Opie Cubby.
Yeah. First win for them. They've been tying a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, so we've got Flyboys and Sterling Hornets 1-1. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking Sterling Hornets won this one. But that just means I wasn't paying very much attention.
Right. One note I'll make here is that the beer stand is new to this match. It didn't come up because there's no serfs, but if to anyone who looked at the teams before, be aware the humans now have a beer stand.
That's interesting. Huh. I never know what to think of that. I think the Wood Elves have the same thing too.
Yeah, there's a number of beer stands in this division.
Interesting.
But yeah, this one. So yeah, the Hornets chose to kick. Went on defense first. And then, the humans get the first hits of the game, right? 3 line of scrimmage, 1 blitz. Of those 4 hits, there are 3 removals, casualty, and 2 KOs.
Whoa.
And yeah, they spend the first quarter just dealing damage without taking any casualties and KOs. But then turn 6, things start to get interesting. I'm sure it was interesting for Klepto Knight to keep getting removals, but
yeah,
as a spectator, the Wizards Bolt comes in. It's to give the elves a gap in the human screen to run through and blitz the human ball carrier. But he's blodge. They don't have tackle, so he's fine. And the next turn, the humans, with the wizard now gone, decide to stop holding the ball deep and move up the field. So they're able to free the ball carrier. They move aggressively up the pitch. But they try to make a cat pass to advance the ball even more. Failed catch, ball's on the ground. And you're thinking, oh, wow, so the elves are going to be able to go after this. Unfortunately, their first action is a dodge, which double ones. So all the humans have to do to score on turn 8 is not 1-9 the pickup to get the ball off the ground after the lightning after the failed catch, that is.
Oh yeah.
But they do 1-9.
Yeah.
So it's 0-0 at the half.
I did see part of this because I could feel Klepto Knight's anguish through the screen, just because they've been having trouble with that near the end of their drives.
Yeah, and in theory he could have made it a 1-36 to do the pickup, but because he's got a number of agility 4 pieces, but the only one in the area was Chuck Yeager, who's already a legend, and it's just really unattractive to score with.
Yep.
And so he goes in with one of the blitzers. I forget which one.
And he had
either Mike Hawker or Dota.
Okay. And he had the reroll, right?
And he had the rerolls, right? So it's like, just don't need to not 1-9. But that's what happens. And Chuck Yeager actually ends up getting hit on turn 8. Takes him as MNG. Tempted Appo. Appo offers some perm, not a death, but some permanent injury. I forget which one. And so he'll be out next match. Elves had been taking a number of removals, but with the humans having taken a couple, and the 3 out of 4 of the elf KOs coming back, the second half is 9-on-9.
Interesting.
They end up scoring on turn 14.
Okay.
Basically, they'd held deep for a few turns, but then the humans move in to try to put pressure, and at that point, the elves are like, okay, gonna flip to your side of the field, hold there for a turn, and then score. As I said, on turn 14, humans 3 turns to counter score. They're able to pull it off, but partly because the elves attempt to do a really deep kick, and even with the kick skill, if you try to go as deep as possible, sometimes it can scatter out of bounds. It does. That means the humans start to get the ball really easily. And the humans set up a bunch of scoring threats. The elves attack them and cover them. But in this case, and we've seen matches where that doesn't work out. Here it does. Richard Ritchie is able to make a catch in 2 tackle zones, the precise thing that a gutter runner wasn't able to do in the mirror match.
Yeah.
And he's able to score on turn 15. Els might have had a dream of doing a 1 turn, but there's a pitch invasion.
Oh, wow.
And that puts a ton of them on the ground, and so that's it. For, just for some hitting, and that doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was an exciting match.
Yeah, pretty exciting for a 1-1 match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about the both scores happening in the second half. So
yeah. In terms of development, so we got Chuck Yeager out. We got guard on REL Pike, an MVP. Kick guard is sort of an odd combination, but if you can get more guard, I guess you go with it. MVP on the Ogre, I think you don't mind that.
Yeah,
though he does kind of have the normal skills he already wants.
Yeah.
You're at this point you're down to grab, which you would take, but
or get that plus strength going.
Well, yes, that's what you really hope for. Plus strength or something.
Yeah.
Plus strength or double or pro.
Yeah, pro would be nice.
But yeah, so this is yet another match with the ranking implications, which we'll see when we get to that. But that's all I have on this one.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. All bark, no bite, taking the win against Goatwork Orange.
Yeah.
This was a big one.
Yeah. This part of this came down to, and this is something that Chalksburg's talked about on his stream. Kind of a misplay in the first quarter on his part. Chaos receives, it's a deep kick, and Lil Unf ends up kind of separated from the rest of the team.
Oh.
And there's teams you could do that with, but the Elves just completely fill the gap. The Chaos tries to respond to it, but there's a double 1 on a GFI because it's just a bunch of dice they need to throw, and eventually they just they get unlucky, right? They get the double 1, but you had an exposed ball carrier,
right?
As all this was going on, that causes a turnover. Elves can knock down Little Unf, get the ball. Little Unf actually responds with a real hero blitz to knock down the War Dancer who had the ball.
Oh wow!
But the problem is he's still isolated.
Yeah,
and he's a great piece, but up against a War Dancer with strip ball, he doesn't have sure hands.
Yes,
so he can't hold on to it.
I think we're keeping our streak alive of mentioning Little Umph without sure hands for all our recap life.
The fight over the ball goes to the sidelines, and actually some really nice play by Troxbirds here. He basically realizes the thing he needs to do is scatter the ball out of bounds. And he has to get lucky for it to actually go out of bounds, but it does, and it scatters into a favorable position for him. Because the Elves have basically really concentrated themselves near the fight with the ball, and they're so fast that they can all get over there. Whereas Chaos had to spread out more because Chaos Warriors can only do so much. But fight over. So Chaos is able to get their touchdown eventually, but then the Wood Elf just do their 1 turn. Really nice job on it. David Leclerc got a quick snap, and I have seen a number of coaches screw themselves.
Yeah, that's totally a blessing and a curse, just depending on.
Since it's optional, in theory, should only be good, but people definitely miscalculate what to do and end up ruining it. He does not. He makes it easier on himself, and he pulls it off.
Nice. Yeah.
So then the second half, the Chaos are trying to put pressure on the ball, and they really are putting pressure on it early in the second half. The Elves almost escape from a lot of coverage on them, but a Journeyman can't make a dodge. And so the ball carrier is left exposed. There's a scrum that kind of rolls up the field. And then there's something which I actually think was another misplay, where the Troxburgs makes a block on Aldia. And this is a blodge step piece, right?
Yeah.
With diving tackle.
And diving tackle, yeah.
And so yeah, he's able to David Leclerc's able to sidestep him onto a Chaos Warrior that had originally been going to go to try to collect a ball that was lying on the ground. And it was a Lodge Firm Warrior, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So not a trivial piece to get the ball of if you manage to get him over there,
Right.
but he tries to dodge and diving tackle ruins it.
Yep.
Elves get the ball, they score, that takes it to 2-1. At that point, Chaos has limited time, and the Elves still have a wizard.
I was gonna say, haven't seen the wizard yet, huh?
So yeah, at that point, he does not have the time to get it done, and so game ends 2-1.
Was there a spite bolt on Little Ump?
I don't think so. I don't recall where the wizard went, but I think it was just like some whoever had the ball, which I think was not on. I think he'd handed it off to someone else to take the bolt or something. But I don't 100% remember.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, yeah, it doesn't seems like things had already run their course at that point.
Yeah. Chaos was gonna have to have a really good drive to get it done in time, and it didn't have a really good drive, and the wizard made it even harder.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so that was huge. I mean, not having Michael Jackson, and we'll see if we ever have Michael Jackson again. And not having another one of their catchers, blotched up catchers, still going in and getting the win.
Yeah, and surprisingly, not really because of the wizard. It certainly helped with their defense at the last drive, but it wasn't like the game turned and there was a turnover touchdown off of the wizard. And just being part of the defense.
Well, yeah, it sounds like, at least on Troxburgh's offensive drive, where you normally see the Elves wizard, they had so many other chances to get the ball that you're like, well, I'm not going to use the wizard now. I can just jump in there and mess around with Little Ump. And, yeah. But yeah, yeah, it seems like, sounds like then the one turn was the really big difference here.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's pretty great.
And I think just one more match.
Yep, I think just one more. Oh, I'm going to see what I remember about this one.
This is the good. You're asking how far we're in. This is the last of the review matches.
Yep.
So we have already talked about the match you played this week. We will in the future be talking about the match you are going to play.
Yep, and we'll be covering leaderboards and all that.
Yeah.
And congrats on elfing someone, I guess. Pimp saying I play good defense. Really, I played good defense with dice. All right, so maybe that's our recap. Well, I think Pimp, that just turned what could have been a 0-0 match into a 1-0 match for you, the dice. Because I didn't play great offense. I think I definitely put myself onto the side. But yeah, so to rewind, Tainted Brewers got their Mercenary Blocker and a Babe, which we had kind of talked about as being one of their options, and I think was a good one.
And you got Boomer because of Nuffle Altar. That's only 10k, and it does mean you gave him the 150k for the blocker and the bait, but with 150 in cash.
Yep.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. I wasn't. Yeah, 10k for a piece that could soak some hits from Chorfs. Seemed like
you started with him on the line, right?
Just 100%.
Set him up there to be one of the line blocks that gets hit.
Yep, and even made it towards the end of the match where you start throwing random bombs and hope they just start exploding. And there was one that actually worked out a little bit like that, but he mostly just took a lot of hits, stood back up, and was just kind of in the way a lot, which is what you get him for 10k. It's a little broken, but sometimes he gets removed right away, and then it's still worth one hit, you know. Yeah. The bomb which the one of his bull centaurs caught and then fumbled was also worth it, I think, too. But yeah. So anyways, Tainted Brewers chose to go on offense first, putting me on defense. And I try to set up in a way that would force Pim Pimp to go to one side. Oddly, the kick went in the other side,
Mhm.
and so I had more pieces on the side where the ball got kicked than they did. So it ended up like opening things up for me to like push in and try to put a lot of pressure on them. And I don't know how successful I did with that. I did put a lot of pressure on them, and they were able to get out of it. But I wondered if I had like kind of been a little more strategic with some of the pressure, I could have
Mhm.
had a chance at a counter score there. As it was, yeah, Brewers were able to get out of it. They made a good push to get up into scoring range, but then failed a GFI, and uh, the ball got free, and then nobody was able to really pick up the ball then. There was only a couple turns left. I didn't really have anybody in scoring range. And even if I did, I didn't really have pieces to pick up and recover the ball. Mostly was just trying to ensure that they couldn't still
Mhm.
score even though the ball was pretty close.
David Leclerc asking me missed his recap. Yes, we've already talked about your match. This is the last of the recap matches, but we will be going on to after this the previews, and so we'll talk about that match.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
if you want to catch your recap, you'll have to watch the video.
yeah. Congrats though.
Hmm.
Um, so that was the first half. There wasn't. I don't remember too much damage. That was all a little fuzzy. I don't remember how I got that miss next game on that chore, um, or even I do remember badly hurting the mercenary blocker because I think that was with my Yeti who finally got some SBP and casualties.
Hmm.
But yeah, this second half started out pretty blandly, and I think Pim Pimp has talked about how he's much more comfortable on defense, and it really shows. Like
Hmm.
I tried to mirror a little bit of what the Chaos was able to do against them the week before, which was like kind of hang back, wait for all the blockers to like commit to one side. And I do remember this. There was actually, I think both of these blockers that got injured were in the first half because they only had a couple blockers out there. So I thought like, man, this is great. All he has is like hobgoblins and a couple bull centaurs and like two good short blockers. I should be able to capitalize on this. And I think I got a little too confident about that and just like for some reason like decided, okay, I'm gonna go to the left because there's like three pieces on the right. They can't catch up, so let's go. But yeah, Pim Pimp did very well on defense and just kind of keeping me hemmed up there until what I ended up doing was just like trying to rely on Blodge to just kind of sit out there in potato zone. And that did not work. Uh, he got the ball carrier down. Hobgoblin went and picked it up. Even yeah, the Bulls really did control the field, as Pimp Up is saying. Yeah, the Bull Centaur was what came in and got the ball carried down. The ball scattered down, and the Hobgoblin picked it up in a tackle zone, dodged out of a tackle zone, and was like well on his way to handing off to I think the agility up Hobgoblin, but then fails the GFI and fumbles the ball. Unfortunately, the scatter just goes in between like two Chorf blockers and a Hobgoblin, so there's still no way for me to get it, and I was just like scrambling for answers to try to keep uh, the ball going the other way. But he had a pretty nice like essentially a train of Chorfs at that point that could just like take the ball down that side of the pitch, and my pieces were too scattered at that point, or they had also been KO'd, probably too. So, um, yeah, so there just wasn't much I could do, and they managed to score on turn 16. Oh, actually, I'm forgetting one thing, which was on my turn 16, I blitzed in. I had one lone lineman. I don't remember which one it was. It was probably Borit Brander because That guy's ridiculous.
Hmm.
He was just out there, and there was nothing else I could do. He had a sideline cage with his hobgoblin, two guard pieces protecting him, so I couldn't do anything to like mitigate the risk. I could just dodge in and try to dodge in and try to knock him out of the off the pitch, and makes the 6+ dodge, but then the 2 red die does not give him a push, and I don't think it even like was a knockdown. I think it was like push both down, and so he took the both down because it was a hobgoblin with I think it was the agility up one at that point,
Yeah, but
which was block.
he's got 2 of them with block there.
Yeah, yeah. So
Couple nice hobgoblin.
yeah, so at first I like, because I didn't expect to see any dice at all, I forgot how red dice work and was like clicking on the red push dice. I was like, go, 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 until realized yeah, just like Nuff always is wont to do, like building you up just to drag the rug out from under you. So yeah, from there is a pretty easy push off, or like, yeah, I don't know, to get the hobgoblin free, and they scored in turn 16.
Yeah, so I think it's a good summary. Congrats to Pimp Imp. Had to be a little frustrating for you, exactly how that went down.
Yeah.
It felt watching it was a match that maybe should have been a tie.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like to me. I definitely could have played offense a little bit better, but it felt pretty brutal to have it go from a 0-0, just potential draw, to like a loss when I had the ball, and yeah. But yeah, armor breaks definitely going my way is maybe the other side of that.
Yes, the fact that you took 1 badly hurt against Shores, where 3 of them have Mighty Blow,
delivering a miss next game.
Yeah. That fact that you did more damage is probably not how that should have gone.
No.
So yeah, it was. I would say it's a match that felt like it should have been a tie based upon like what it took for people to score, and like the dice they had to roll to get the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like there was some luck there, but the fact that you had so many pieces that it took something so extraordinary for him to get the ball was also sort of like luck going your way.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So there wasn't anything, like looking at the dice log afterwards, there wasn't anything that really jumped out too badly. But yeah, the 9 breaks on 52 succeeded blocks. Yeah, not really the best for them, but yeah, still good. Picking up the win was turned out to be really huge this week, in a week full of a lot of the top teams tying or losing.
Yeah, that sounds like a setup to go into the leaderboard.
It does indeed. So yeah, had a few switch ups here, and it's starting to look a lot of crisscrossing lines now.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you I don't know, why don't you walk us through a little bit?
Yeah, so yeah, with Sterling Hornets getting a tie, that's enough to get them up into like a tying position in terms of overall points, and their incredible touchdown differential then has them in the lead over Goblins.deck. But neither of those teams are going to go the rest of the season without only winning. At least it's very unlikely that they do so. So there's still a lot of like potential there, and for the the teams right behind them. We got Go Work Orange and Tainted Brewers nipping right at their heels, Flyboys, and right behind that, and then you right behind that. There is sort of like this middle group of 5 teams that are within a point of each other.
Yeah.
For them to get like to the top is going to require a little more. It's going to require a little more like they need to do really well and have a number of people above do badly. So that's starting to get a little rougher. And yeah, that's a mix of teams. That's just a number of teams that have had like mixed seasons, right? They've had their losses, they've had their wins, they've had their ties. Mean Green and Thick particularly has had its ties.
Yep.
1-4-1 for the season.
Rats and Nim too.
Yeah, they shot up. Like that's one of the biggest changes is they had a bad couple first weeks, then they moved into tying, and now they got themselves a win.
Yep.
So hopefully they'll continue that upward trend.
Yeah.
And then we've got a few teams which are just really struggling right now.
Yep.
Peak Altitude, Skaven Rat Rodents. Peak Altitude also got their first win this week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So congrats to them for that.
Yeah. And then across the Empire,
really struggling.
Had it tough all the way around. Yeah, still, I think for this middle group, still not unreasonable for them to catch. I know definitely needs to get like the win train going versus like constant ties. But there was enough of a shake-up at the top this week. You have a couple more weeks of that, and we could be looking at a different leaderboard entirely. R5 and Elf gets a win next week, and Flyboys loses. R5's right up there. So yeah, I think for the top, it's the same thing, right? They need to keep winning, or else they're gonna get caught up.
You need to have a really good season in order to make it to the playoffs, which I think might be our next topic.
That's right. So this is a different take on what we learned this week, but kind of inspired by a lot of the leaderboard change-ups, and we're at halfway. We can say we're at halfway point for the season. Wanted to look at what is it going to take, or what does it take to get to the playoffs or to get to Challenger. So I took a look at all the Tier 4 teams from last year, G-Man and REL. REL only had 4 Tier 4 divisions. Did I say that right? 4 Tier 4 divisions? Yeah.
Yes.
Last season, whereas G-Man had 6. So I pulled all of them together to kind of create a better data pool. Big O did not have any Tier 4 teams. They have tiers 1, 2, and 3, and then they have 5 for their rookie teams. So this was let's look at what were the best records out there for teams that made the playoffs, and what was the worst for the best. And there was actually a couple teams that were up here in points, but this was the highest by far, which was, or at least by 1 point, which was Despicable Memes.
That's an impressive record. 12-1-0. Undefeated, only 1 draw. Hard to do.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw it did, in looking, did pull up a certain Nurgle team that also went undefeated last season.
Mm-hmm.
Your very own Abysmal Cusp. Also did the same thing, and there was
but 2 ties.
Yeah, 2 ties. There's another 12-win team in REL as well. I think they were Dark Elves.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is, again, pretty... I don't think anybody is going to make this in this division. Everybody has at least 1 loss, so there's that. So we're not looking at that. But worst for the playoff qualifiers, there was... and I think this was actually a division where, you'll see it. So G-Men 4D, actually their top, or their playoffs qualifier was at 26 points with 8, 3, and 2. And then if you look down at the worst challenger qualifier, they had a 6-6-1. I believe this was Underworld team make it to the challenger. So I don't know what was going on in this division, but a lot of fluctuations, right?
Yeah.
And then the best challenger qualifier was also from 4E, which kind of makes sense. So top-heavy division there, which they were at 10, 1, and 2, and 31 points.
Mm-hmm.
So what does all that mean? And from the compiling all the data, was able to come up with a median of kind of what a playoff qualifying team looks like. Again, this is just 1 season of data, so nothing's, obviously there's going to be outliers. Obviously there's going to be, just things that are going to change as we kind of get settled in this tier system. But I part of what caused me to look into this a little bit is that for as somebody who grew up watching the NFL, right?
Hmm.
You could tell me like a record, like 10-6, and I could tell you, yeah, that's usually a playoff team, but occasionally a team with 10 wins might not make it to the playoffs, and here's those teams and the X, Y, and Z. Um, Obviously, with points being not a part of the NFL, this makes it a little different. But you have a good there's a kind of a historical knowledge of yeah, I know what a good record looks like that makes it so that you're getting into playoffs,
Hmm.
and therefore kind of like a goal of when should you be shifting. We've talked about this before of when should you be shifting into looking at development or trying to get up a tier, but not necessarily making it all the way into the playoffs. And I think what we're seeing is you yeah, as Pimpum's saying, just got to finish the season 6-1 to have a good chance, no problem.
Yeah.
But sometimes things like that happen. But yeah, medium wins for playoff teams. 9.5, so 10 or 9 wins. Median was 1 loss, and then points 30.5. And then for challenger, it's not that different. It was only a difference of 1.5 wins and then 1 more loss.
Yeah. So you can absorb another loss and a draw.
Yeah.
For challenger instead of playoffs.
Yeah. But yeah, not a big difference. And again, because we're in tier 4, there's not multiple spots handed out for challenger or playoffs, so it is really the top of the top, the creme de la creme, as some say.
Yeah. That's interesting. And we're getting far enough into the season where it makes sense to start looking at this and making a plan for what the second half of the season is going to be about for you.
Yep, definitely. I think, yeah, as we talked about with the leaderboards, there's still a lot of different shakeups that can happen, but things are going to start crystallizing as teams take more losses and more draws. It's just going to be harder and harder for them to make up ground where other teams are winning.
Yeah. Is there a third place wild card for?
I don't think they're doing that this season. I think they did it last season for Challenger because there weren't as many Tier 4 divisions, but we've got 2 more this season. So I think third tier has, we're season 12. You could be right, but I'm pretty sure.
No, tier 4. The top 9 third place teams will get a ticket.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Huh. Really thought that was tier 3. Maybe that was playoffs or something. Well, add that to what we learned this week.
That's for the Challenger Cup.
Cool. I'm glad we have this segment. The segment in which our viewers show us just how much they've learned.
Well, because they messed around with it because there's now Tier 1 no longer gets to go to the Challenger Cup.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And Tier 2 gets 1 ticket per div, but Tier 3 gets 2 or 3. 2 for Big O, 3 for REL and G-Man.
Okay. Gotcha.
So they basically gave more Challenger Cup tickets to Tier 3 by taking it from Tier 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a change that made a lot of sense. What if you're a Tier 1 coach? Why would you be?
Yes, we are season 12, so that's the correct link.
Yeah,
that's where I'm getting everything I'm saying right now.
Yeah. They had posted that before we started looking at it. Cool. Well, that's exciting. So yeah, we all just have to do our best.
Yeah.
That's what I think the long and the short of it is. But that does make it a little more interesting.
Nice. Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that together.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ready to move into next week?
Sounds good.
Oh wow! First off, here we go.
Yep.
Well, what do we think about this one?
I think the pros are getting a lot of inducements.
Yep. What am I spending all my cash on? What did I spend money on? Boomer.
I have no idea. Boomer, yeah.
I think.
And there's been some replacement linemen.
Yeah,
I think it's just been like a drip of like having to replace linemen. You've had to buy the Yeti at the start, and so just haven't been able to build much of a bank up.
Yeah, I must have. Just seems like a low amount after the match last week, but yeah.
Well, that's an interesting point. Oh, that's because I wrote it down wrong. You actually have 100K.
Oh, cool. Well, that's way different. Okay. Not that it matters for this match. I'm not spending any more money. I think I was thinking about like getting a bench, but then they're gonna have so many loaners and so much inducement money. I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah.
And see how this one goes.
Yes. So yeah, actually, yeah. People comment on the 10K chat. Yes, it's 100K for the Norse. But they might be talking about Pandito and like how badly beat up Timbalon is.
Yeah, this would be a perfect time to buy a replacement. Yeah. Did they have 100K as well?
I'm checking that now.
Okay.
It is unlikely I made that mistake twice, but
that'd be amazing.
No, they actually are at 10K.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, we talked about Tebelian. I think
because that catcher Galanthal Lazralian, the rookie catcher is new.
Damn it. Yeah, that's right. So they went for a catcher. They're just keeping the splitzer, y'all.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there until somebody like literally kills it. And I can't do it.
It'll be there for 2 turns.
Yeah.
It'll be on the sideline.
Somebody sneezes at it. Yeah, so and they won't be in my match, so I can't do everyone a favor there. Yeah, they'll be down. Oh, okay. So you have the lineman or the loaner lineman in here already.
Yeah, I've been doing that where if there's going to be journeyman based upon the current setup, just put them there so we don't have to count on air.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Pimp's saying too that he needs to win to get some more cash so he can replace the Blitzer.
There can be that kind of death spiral, right, where you're getting like no money because you're not winning games, and so you can't afford to replace the pieces that went out and are costing you games.
Yep. Yeah, this one I don't know. They still have 2 very nice pieces and 1 very solid piece.
Yeah.
What do you get with all this inducement money? Get a wizard.
And... you do the wizard and some star player.
Oh yeah, probably like Morahan or somebody. Oh, that might be too expensive.
So this is not in your stadium, so there's no Nuffle altar, so that's 280, right?
Yeah.
Pro Elves.
There's that Dauntless.
Yeah, Prince Moranian's only 230, so he could get that and 50 to spare. Eldril's 200K.
Huh. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, the only elf star player he can't afford is Morgan Thorg.
Well, I think that unless he just goes all in for him, right?
Unless he just does Morgan Thorg and no wizard. That's not what I would do, but I would love to see it though. That'd be wild. You don't see Morg on the field as much as you might.
No, you really don't. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they'll probably do. They did Prince Moranian or whatever last match, so they seem to.
That was someone else.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that would have been the other pros maybe. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was Sterling Hornets. Clown Thulu's been doing Prince Moranian a bunch.
Okay. I knew I'd been seeing him around. But...
Yeah. The other pro elf team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's going to be uphill for them, but they're pretty aggressive, and if I can still like have problems with the ball handling that I've definitely had happen before, and
Yeah.
could have this fall apart.
Yeah, it's 666 ones and nines at some point. There's two
Mm-hmm.
AG5 elves
Mm-hmm.
who would just be perfectly happy to go in and grab the ball.
Yep. Yep.
So this is what we're. I think you have the advantage here, but if something goes wrong at the wrong time, it could really swing against you.
Uh-huh. Yep. So yeah, as much as I'm wanting to beat up on a bunch of AB7 pieces, should probably just take it easy and see where it goes.
I would go super aggressive. That would be me, but
Well, the wizard is interesting.
the wizard is interesting.
Because
Yes.
definitely had fireballs that have messed up my team before. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Should be a fun match. All right. Oh, interesting. That's right. I don't think was any match scheduled at this point.
One for Monday. All Bark No Bite versus Tainted Brewers. We've got Pimp Imp in chat, of course, looking for another win to start climbing back up from fourth place.
Yeah.
He's had, as you can see, an up and down sort of season so far.
Yeah.
David Leclerc's had a bit more of a down sort of season so far. Yeah.
But
yeah,
we
could
got a big win last week against the MASH team.
Yep. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think David Leclerc has a lot of tools still.
Yep.
That he can really make trouble with. Michael Jackson is going to be tough, right? He's a very, very expensive piece. I'm not 100% sure we actually see him take the field.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I know Dave was talking about that in chat. I think he's still deciding. It's really hard to get rid of a legend.
All Bark No Bite is in 10th place, though they would be tied for 8th if we didn't take touchdown differential into account. So in terms of points, they're tied for 8th.
Yeah. We're basically like holding them to what final standings should be.
Yeah.
Tim Nielsen saying what I was going to mention next, which is that David is considering buying a tree, but has not decided on that. They do have plenty of cash, so they could.
Yeah, so 230 in cash. He has a level 2 stadium, but no enhancement. So if he doesn't buy the tree, I might see that money go there. Though he's going to be looking at, maybe he wants a tree, and at some point, Michael Jackson's he's such a target.
Yeah.
With that armor bust, and he's also just so expensive. He's basically that 180 in inducements, right?
Oh, I just saw that was going the other way. Yeah, holy crap. This is so interesting. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be the final.
No, I'm sorry. He is 240, so it went from being 60 going to the left to 180 going to the right.
Oh wow. I still don't know if that's going to be the final number.
Yeah.
Because if they do get a tree and keep Michael Jackson, that's even more. But
yeah. If I were Pimp Imp, I would think it was like several scenarios of what does the inducement game look like, right? Like what does it look like? Well, if he fires Michael Jackson and buys a stadium, then he will be getting nothing.
Yeah. So you don't have to even think about that one.
He'll be getting 10 because the journeyman replacement will be worth 70K.
Yeah.
So he'd be getting 10, but he's not, can't do much with that. On the other hand, it could be even more if a tree comes on the field. Because those are, how much do those cost? Those are 120. So yeah, it could be up to 300. Or actually, we take the alignment off, so it would be 230. Because if you buy a tree, there's less journeyman. I would plan for 180 or 230 to the extent that you look into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're both in chat. Go through it, so we'll let them hash it out. reporting the results. Uh, 5 dwarf game. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can get it, I liked what you did last week against me, Pimp Pimp, which was getting a backup blocker. And yeah, so if you can afford that, I think that's a good use.
Yeah.
Maybe a bribe would be, actually. I don't know. You have the dirty player, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways this matchup could look, and I'm very curious to see or watch this one when it happens.
Yeah.
Bribe is a trap.
Yeah. A lot of bludge step for him to be dealing with. And if he can get them down, then like and get some removals, then it can really swing in Pimp Pimp's direct favor. But if not, David Leclerc could just run all over him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was brought up before. Pimp Pimp's done 6 casualties. All bark, no bites, done 4.
One of those numbers makes more sense.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what's gonna change. Only 3 mighty blow in this match. I assume Pimp Pimp is keeping Peter Cook because AV8's not bad.
Yeah. I don't think you can give up a claw piece for AV8.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, this could be interesting because, yeah, I don't think all bark no bites had a rough season, but if they win, they're back in the conversation. I think.
Yeah.
3 losses, a little tough, but I mean, if they don't lose anymore, they could be in it.
Yeah.
And Wood Elves are, I think, good enough to go on hot streaks.
And David, Leclerc reminded us of the stat that 23 casualties against him. So this would be a real change of a game if he doesn't. Actually, it'll be interesting to see, right? What dominates? Is it going to be David Leclerc's affinity for just taking unbelievable number of casualties, or Pimp Pimp's inability to inflict them? Yeah, one of those is going to have to break.
One's going to have to. Yeah, one's going to have to give. Let's see.
Because 4 per game is what he's pointing out. That would be that would be a 66% increase in how many casualties Pimp Pimp has put out in one match.
Oh man.
So I'll be excited to see that.
Yeah, likewise. Cool. Well, yeah, let's move on to the next one, and let us know when that one gets going. Ooh, this is a good one too. Flyboys versus Clockwork Orange. 3 spot versus the 5. And beer stand. This was the new one.
No, I believe that. Yes, this is the new one. It was new as of last match.
Yeah. So, and they're going to be getting 110k. They'll be missing Chuck Yeager, which that's pretty big.
That's a really nice piece. He makes really good use of him. It allows him to keep the ball way more mobile.
Yeah. Both these teams pretty even in terms of like the touchdown differential and casualty differential.
Mm-hmm.
They do, I mean, yeah, I'd almost say that they play kind of similarly too.
Yeah. It's I would agree. It's they're both pretty bashy. Both got a little bit of agility up. There's only one claw piece on the Chaos team.
Yeah.
It's a really nice claw piece.
Yeah.
And so it'll be presumably Sundead stuff, but it's most of the time the Mighty Blow is going to be coming in on something that actually is AV8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's this is a match where I think Klepto. I think this could really go either way. Because both coaches are having good seasons so far.
Yeah.
And
I think
two well-developed teams.
Yeah, I can see this one being a draw. I think both of them play solid, but not super aggressive, and I could see that just doing 1-1.
That is a good point. I have these values wrong because the Flyboys should have a journeyman lineman added in.
Oh, okay. So in which case they just get a babe.
Actually, no, the TV is correct. I'm sorry, I just forgot to put the journeyman on the sheet.
Oh, okay. So then, I don't know.
It will be 110K.
Yeah. Maybe an extra Apo?
Yeah, I feel like without Dirty Player, you don't do the bribe. I like extra Apo a lot. Unless you be more aggressive with the first of them.
Yeah. So if you're on defense first and they get a good blitz, and because you don't have many, you have your 3 linemen for the LOS, and then everybody else placed everywhere else. So yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I think that would be. You can keep some pieces in the game badly hurt in the first half, and then we'll come back in the second.
Yeah.
But yeah, this should be another good one, and another one be interested to watch. I missed the last Troxburg streams, but those are always a treat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very entertaining host.
So yeah, looking forward to that. All right, on to our next match. And yeah, the Rats of Nim versus Sterling Hornets. Ooh,
yeah.
500 in inducements.
It's a lot of inducements.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and against a team where like you maybe can't do a wizard because the pros just score so fast.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what that turns into.
I think they'll still probably take the wizard.
Yeah, you might as well.
I mean, I don't know what else you spend it all on. Because you get a star player for sure. But what are rat star players? At least like high caliber. I mean, you don't get Glart for this.
No, Glard's great in the right match.
Oh, you could get Skitter.
Yeah, Skitter for 160, I don't mind at all. Got a lot of 87 stab on the field to stab.
Yep, and that tail. It can throw a wrench in things.
Yeah, you get Skitter for 160, Wizard for 150. That's 310. That leaves you 190.
Jeez. Oh, Hackflum. Forgot about him.
Yeah, you'll have to think through that. You could get a Merc line rat or two, because currently he's at 11 pieces.
Yeah. That's true. Wouldn't be bad to get a bench more than just Skitter. Yeah, and I don't think you're going to be taking. Well, I guess we've talked about Sterling Hornets being willing to like throw down and punch stuff.
Yeah.
So an extra Apo here might not be the worst, but I don't really know what you're going to use that on, other than your 2 gutter, or I barely count Justin anymore, but they're 3 gutter runners.
Yeah. That is a problem right now, is that with Nicodemus off the field, 3 gutter runners, none of them have wrestler block. And so your ability to like go after the pro elves is really limited.
Yeah, this might just be where the Rats and them just do their 1 turn.
I would, and that would again be a reason to get a couple mercs, so that you can keep that 1 turner off the field.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so just build up your bench and one turn on the 2 times you get the ball.
Yeah.
And yeah, 2-2 draw.
But yeah, and this is becoming, this could usually be 4-3. Pip is saying there is a possibility that this turns into a score off, right?
Yeah.
That the rats just score it one turn whenever they get a chance, and the pro elves just 2 turn.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I think the pro elves will dictate it. It'll be interesting which way they want to go. Like, do they want to go fast with scoring, or do they want to like slow the game down a bit and punch stuff? Which I think they have been interested in doing previously.
Yeah.
And they're at full strength. They'll have their catcher back, Orion Rosewatch, and whatever other piece they were missing from their last match. But yeah, they'll have all their pieces. I presume Hawk is going to be pretty annoying with diving tackle, sidestep, and tackle.
Perfect thing to mark a gut around.
Yeah, so I don't think OP Cubby can really mess around with these elves. I think they really do just have to score as quick as possible, and it will be up to the pro elves to decide when those turns will be. But yeah, I mean, Rats and Nim knocked off our top-ranked team last week, so maybe they can make it 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That'd be exciting to see.
Yeah, definitely. Do either of these stream? Oh yeah, if OP Cubby can get his stream up and going, and just like take a little bit of time to tweak it before getting going. He like threw it up. I think David was just like, "Please stream it," and OP Cubby's like, "Oh, let me work on that," and then I think like downloaded all the software and everything, and then just threw it up there. And actually, like for that, did pretty well. But yeah.
Hopefully, he does like a test stream, and he actually messaged me about that like he's gonna mess around with that between
cool.
Between weeks, because I think he will try to keep streaming.
Yeah, I think it seems like he has the hardware to do it. Just needs to like tweak the settings a little bit. Oh, Clown Thulu saying they'll stream it. And they're playing Monday night at 7.
Yeah, my recollection is Clown Thulu does not do commentary.
That's true. But it'll be there if people want to see it without turning on the client.
Yep. But I think that there's still room for Opie Cubby to do a stream if he wants. And
yeah. Yep. Yeah, we've had dueling streams before too. So, but yeah, that's good to know that we've got a backup stream plan. Oh, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't stream my matches because I hate doing it. So no one should feel like pressured to like stream and comment if they don't want to.
Yeah, I just like Pimp is saying, like I'm tired of putting my tilt out into the world, so I don't do my own matches either, and I get too distracted.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're welcome to do what you like. I did watch part of your stream before, Clown Thulu, and I think the one comment that I would have is if you could put the skills overlay on, that would be helpful for viewers. Otherwise, I think commentary on or off, however you're comfortable.
Yeah. And on the comment, people do whatever they're comfortable with. We do appreciate everyone who does stream.
Absolutely.
We each watch a bunch of matches every week. Yeah. And sometimes for time efficiency, it's nice. It's nice to just do the ones in the client. But I will watch it when people stream, because you get to see their perspective and how they think through things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Clown Thulu, I'd actually never seen anybody not use the skills overlay, so I didn't know if it was a thing that you were just more comfortable with having off or what, but yeah, I don't know. I think for viewing it's a little easier since people can't like go around and click on pieces themselves to see like what the different pieces are set up. But yeah, this one should be good, and yeah, Monday 7 p.m.
Nice.
Oh man, another potential barn burner. Silkwood City Slickers versus Goblins.dce. Oh damn it.
.deck.
I'm gonna blame that on the fever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah. So Tim Nielsen definitely gonna be looking for a win here. Fight back to the top of the division. But I think not necessarily an easy opponent. The Raven Post team has a lot going for it, and he's obviously like a good coach.
Yeah. Well, and plays Wood Elves also plays Wood Elves aggressively. We've got 2 Wood Elf coaches that go all in and aren't afraid to like use their loners to foul, and in a similar way to I think how Tim Nielsen does Skaven, which tries to get some journeymen and then like outman people and then just foul them to pieces. So I think this one is going to be a little tough, and we got 110 going to the Wood Elves. Do we see Raven Post scum for a bribe or a wizard?
I don't know. He's got his positionals that he needs right now, though he does have only 2 catchers, and he has at times carried 3. I believe, and he has 4 journeymen, right? And so it's like, can you really afford to scum 40?
Yeah, probably not, because you're looking to buy a bunch of things back, and I don't know, as it's been discussed on here, 2 agility teams, Wizard doesn't give you as many opportunities, especially against this Skaven team with all its wacky wild pieces.
Yeah.
And Tim Nielsen agreeing with that. Do we see? So I guess the bigger question is, do we see them spend that 110K before the match that they have in hand on? Can they get a tree for that?
I believe the tree is 120. Yes, the tree is 120. So you can't afford a tree. You don't buy a journeyman.
No.
You don't buy another lineman. You would only do that once you're going over 150.
Yeah. So you're either saving for the tree or you buy that 3rd catcher. Probably not without a bench.
David Leclerc, you're saying you're going to play at 8:30 Central. Is that tonight?
Yeah, is that like an hour from now? No, we haven't gotten over the orcs.
You're up next.
Yet. Yeah.
You're up next. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be playing in an hour. So that'll be fun.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah, that'll be a good night camp.
Yeah, I'll definitely catch that, and I assume that Pimpin will be streaming that, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that should be some good entertainment.
I gotten tired of putting all his tilt out there, as he alluded to earlier. I just talk about giving out casualties. Look at these. This Skaven, 17 Cas.
17 and 19. It's been a bloody season.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, I do think this is a tough match. Tim also agrees, and I think, Raven Poe's a tough coach, and I think any match where they have, even just like a rookie war dancer like they do, like it's still one of the best level pieces out there, out of the box.
Yeah, a rookie war dancer is better than most level pieces.
Yeah, and like other elves, like you can do with, outside of the match last week where we had a loner fail a dodge, and that didn't help him keep up a screen. You can still like do a lot with journeymen as elves. So so with 110, I don't know, maybe take like 2 babes or something. extra Apo or something.
Yeah, a couple babes are extra Apo.
And yeah, I like the idea of saving for a tree. They had a pretty decent tree that they were having fun with until that died.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So yeah, let's move on to what Gojira has been asking for like an hour.
Oh man, this match is gonna be fun. Skaven Rat Rodents versus Mean Green and Thick. Ooh boy.
Yeah. The non-claw, like beefy bashy guys
Yeah.
running into each other.
The tying team versus the non-tying team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Though Khemri are wont to tie, so it's not to say it's going to be one way or the other.
And you can see like very different like builds, right? And some of that's based on like the nature of what skills people have access to. But you have block and guard on the Black Orcs.
Yep.
You got a ton of Mighty Blow on the Tomb Guardians. Each team's got itself a Mighty Blow piling on killer. They both also have tackle, but there's no dodge on the field.
Yeah, this is one match where it's 20k and bloat, and you're okay with it.
And yeah,
Rat the Third is not on the team though, even though they're on the sheet.
Yeah, I messed that up.
Oh, okay. So that it should not be on here.
Let me. I'm going to go into the client. I believe I messed that up.
All right. Yeah.
Correct. There is a piece named Rat the Third, a skeleton.
Yeah.
It just does not have those two skills.
Right. Okay. And it's
apologies for that. These got thrown together at the last minute.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So they'll have their bribe at the beginning. Not much TV. Wow. Not much TV differential. Yeah, you probably just get a babe. Though I could see. I could see
Scumming. But the thing is, now he doesn't have Dirty Player.
Yeah, but I can still see him coming for a bribe, for a second bribe.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how these Khemri roll. Yeah, I think this will be tough though. I mean, it could end up being like a 1-1 draw, but I also see Gojira being anxious enough about drawing, like taking risk and trying to win the game, and that's not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna cost them the win, but I think it could open up some things because Khemri's not gonna make you pay for mistakes.
That is the thing, right? In particular, they can make you pay for a mistake, but it's like they put a ton of tackles on the ball, and so nobody scores.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to make you pay by turning you over.
Yeah, and then counter scoring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Gojira pointed out he also does get a bribe, so we'll presumably see a bunch of fouling. Ultra Crag, I would suggest.
Oh no!
Throw feed at that guy if you can, or Noodle.
I guess I do play the Khemri next, so if you can M&G Ultra Crag, wouldn't mind it. But I do love Ultra Crag, and I think deserves to live a long life.
Well, and he seems like one of the pieces that makes this team like fun and playable. Yeah. That like he can actually do something useful on his turn.
Right.
Because the Tomb Guardians sometimes do something useful, but then sometimes they 1-9 and then 1-9 again, and they don't do anything useful.
Yeah. Or sometimes they catch the ball and then they go score, like we saw in their one win.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think this will be a solid slugfest. They're actually even in casualties given, just not in casualties received, which makes sense. And I think the Orcs could pull out a win, but it could also be a tie, which might also depend on the Khemri's ability to pick up the ball.
Yeah, this will be an interesting one to see. I think Gojira probably has the edge here, but I would not be at all surprised by another tie.
Yeah, cursed words from your recappers there, Gojira. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. So, cool. All right, yeah. Looking forward to that. That's one. Oh yeah, Gojira will stream that. Or
Yep.
yeah, um, that'll be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then our last matchup, which is also scheduled for Monday at 7. Wasn't there another one that we just learned about?
Yeah, well, there's one being played tonight, we
Yeah.
know. And yeah, the Sterling
Oh,
Hornets
yeah,
game,
Sterling
Clown Thulu's
Hornets.
game, is
Yeah.
going to be played Monday night at 7. So there'll be a couple Monday night games.
Yeah. There we go.
Uh,
Yeah, and here we have
Elf
Quint.
Mirror match.
Yes, and we also have another mirror happening with zombies named Quintus.
Yes, that is correct. That is not one of the many sheet errors this week. There are 2 Quintus the Troublemakers because Ponosaurus does not bother to name zombies.
I mean, I get it. They're fodder. But, and I guess you're running out of elf names. I don't know. But at least, like, I don't know.
There is no way that there is not in fiction more elf names than 7.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, no. That's amazing, though. That's so good. I don't think I would have, like, cared as much until this came up. They're just like, yeah, well, spent the money. Gotta keep old Quintus. Yeah, with his brother Quintus. But anyway, about the match. 222, the High Elves.
This feels like a match where you get the wizard.
Yeah, I could see getting a wizard and a babe.
All right, so this is apparently being played Saturday at noon Eastern, and we have been told that the Tim Nielsen's match is going to be played Saturday night at 11 p.m. So there'll be
cool.
Yep, a match tonight, couple Saturday, couple Monday. We're now being told.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Try to get that written down somewhere. Yeah, this one. Let's see. 12 p.m. Eastern Saturday. Might be able to stream that one, but no guarantees.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to remember what Saturday is, but yeah. So yeah, get the wizard, get a babe, and yeah, see how it goes. Ponosaurus has been dishing out the casualties, been taking them too, but I don't. Peak Altitude has not really been one to do casualties.
Yeah.
So and Necro is fast. I don't know. I think this is going to be uphill for Peak Altitude here.
I would agree. This is a nicely set up Necro team. It's got some good tools for dealing with them. You got 2 tackle pieces. One of them's that Mighty Blow Wolf.
Yeah.
Not everything on the elf team has dodge. The other werewolf's beautiful for hitting them, and just like a lot of bodies can be put in the way. 2 dirty player pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
One of them with a misaligned skill.
Oh yeah.
Graphically.
Oh okay. Yeah. Jeez. I would not have noticed if you hadn't said anything. Yeah, so I think Arf Arf probably takes this one, but Elf Shenanigans could see it.
Yeah.
Could see it go the other way. It's just I never think of High Elves as being that fast. They're kind of like the control elf team. I don't know if that's even a thing, but yeah, it seems like they'll need a lot to go right to win this one.
Yeah.
Could see a draw, but yeah, a lot to go their way for the win.
Yeah, a draw would not be that shocking to me, right? Like each team just scores on a drive, but it isn't able to turn over the other one.
Yeah. So cool. And that brings us to the end of the week.
Yeah. that's gonna be that, I guess. Yeah. I mean, thanks to everyone who watched, hung on the chat. We had a very active chat this week.
Yeah, that was
That's
fun.
always fun. Coaches to interacting with each other there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think a bunch of interesting matches coming up. A bunch of interesting matches last week. The division continues to be shook around a bit.
Yep, definitely. Probably should have said this at the beginning, but if you noticed any audio issues, please let us know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too late for this week, but maybe next week we'll have it figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we say last week. But no, yeah, I appreciate everyone watching and putting up with. Hopefully, I didn't sound too froggy, but yeah, I've been dealing with a little bit of sickness. But yeah, this was fun, and here's to week 7.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you all next week.